although it would be much appreciated to have the camera on if you can, at least for the group photo when we take it. But
I will ask you towards the end to take the camera, to put the camera on so I can take a nice photo of us indeed. But for now, let's do like this. Let me just change the view a little bit so that I can see perfect. That would be great. So I will just share my screen. Let me know when you see it and everything is in order.
Yeah.
Yes, good. Okay, so we are here today for the focus group with the title How can Information and Communications Technology, ICT for short, be used to reduce bias in the workplace? I am Katarina, as you can see. I'm the project manager in Social Hackers Academy, SHA for short, and I will be your host and moderator for today. This meeting is supposed to be a very short meeting between us, open discussion, exchange of opinions, so don't hesitate to answer any questions, to ask any questions you want, to raise a hand, or even to just interrupt me while I speak. There is no problem. Let's go through very shortly the agenda that we're going to have. So I'm going to start by presenting the INTEgreat project and the pilot project of Greece, as well as a little bit the reason for this meeting and the goal that we want to achieve with this meeting. Then Damien will speak a little bit from his experience on how ICT technology can be used to reduce bias and prejudice in the workplace. And then we'll have an open discussion with all of you. We are very welcome to participate. We actually need your voice and your opinion on this. I have written down some of the questions that we're going to ask you, but I also have slides for them afterwards with extra material and ideas that we can brainstorm on. So please note that this meeting will be recorded. I wrote it here as well, so that we are all very aware that your image might be used for some communication purposes as well. So the goal of this meeting is, first of all, to foster open discussion among participants, so among us, is to understand the biases migrants and refugees face in their everyday work life, learn about good and bad practices within IT companies. Maybe I would prefer if we say positive and negative practices, let's say, in this matter. Collect information on participants' points of view on how ICT technology can be used to reduce bias and prejudice. And the end game of this meeting is to compile a report based on your feedback, which will be after used as a communication material for our network's network, the project, for companies and non-relevant stakeholders that want to use it. So it can be anyone who is interested at this topic and at the results we will have to present. So let's start with very few words about the INTEgreat project. You see here an image of a meeting in Barcelona last year. These are the project partners. The project started on January 2022 and aims to offer innovative strategies to the integration of refugees and migrants using the analysis of integration policies in 6 local contexts. Athens, Limerick, Varese, Barcelona, and Nicosia. So this is where the partners are based, basically. We focus on 4 key aspects of integration: employment, training, access to healthcare, and social cohesion. So INTEgreat has been funded by the EU Asylum Migration Integration Fund, AMIF for short, and it will end on January 2025. At this moment, we are about to finish the local pilot projects that have been implemented per country. So these pilot projects are different depending on the country and depending on the partner who has started them. So for some partners, it can be medical information programs, it can be courses, it can be integration lessons. We even have partners that have like get to know the city kind of dates and walks out. But we are gonna concentrate on our pilot activities, a very short presentation. We started on January 2023, and this will be implemented and finalized until April 2024. And we have in total 8 activities. By the way, I tend to speak sometimes very fast. If I do that, please let me know and I will slow down. So our pilot project activities. We have created an infographic with some useful point of contact, service points basically for migrants and refugees, such as language courses, where they can eat, career consulting centers, daycare centers, which we diffuse very widely, and it had a very good reach. We reached around 400 people who downloaded it and used it in their everyday life. We are giving...
Katerina, sorry to interrupt. Can you please make a full screen of the slide, because it's too small.
You cannot see it in full screen? Okay, let me...
It is in preview mode right now.
Why is that? Let me do it differently. If it lets me, of course. One moment, I'm going to change screens. I wanted to have it here so that I can actually see you when I speak to you, but now I'm going to look this way. Okay, let me know how this is. Is this better?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it is.
Perfect. It needs to be in the big screen then. The small screen doesn't work for this. I just wanted to be able to look at you as well, but now
Great.
that
Okay,
happens.
thanks. Sorry to interrupt the
No,
flow.
no, thank you for saying it. It's a shame to not see the presentation. I worked all day on it. So the pilot project activities, we also have soft skill courses, which most of you know, I'm guessing. We offer guidance on activities such as how to create a successful CV, how to create a LinkedIn profile, how to resolve conflict, how to use LinkedIn to find a job, etc. Some of the activities, again, that we have, it's a roundtable that will take place next week. By the way, you will be all invited to join if you want this as well. We will be talking about how to create inclusive workplaces, and we will have different topics. More information about this will be sent very shortly to all of you as well, since I have your emails now. The focus group that we are holding today, the one that we're organizing today, both of these activities will have as an end a final report. I'm sorry, we have a new person joining. Let me just let him in. Hello, Mac. I'm going to continue, and when you can hear us, you can just interrupt me so that I can give you a very quick overview of what we've talked about. So the focus group of today is also part of the pilot project. Both of these, I'm sorry, this slide has a slight issue in changing. Let's go here. We'll end up in mentoring initiatives, which is basically the reports that we will be creating and diffusing largely to our network and to our partners. We'll also have a networking event, which will take place beginning of April. And again, you will be invited there. This would be a panel session-based event with partners from all over Europe, with partners from the project as well that will attend. And we will discuss generally how we can improve, how we can empower economically refugees and migrants, and how we can improve their livelihood. I'm sorry, this slide has a slight issue. Did it change? Okay, oh, changed too fast. Damien, not yet your time, wait. It's one slide that is causing me issues. Okay, here. The last two activities that we have within this project are some communication activities. So every month we will present the project, activities that we did, deliverables of the project, activities with the partners, not only on the Greek context, of course. And lastly, we have implemented our full stack web development courses as well. So that creates a very well-rounded approach on how to best integrate migrants and refugees into the Greek reality, let's say. And now, Damien, and unless there are any questions about the project or anyone wants to say anything? No? Okay.
No.
So Damien, you can go ahead.
Thank you, Katerina, for the wonderful slides, very informative. And thank you all very much for participating. I'm very happy that all of you are here. Wish there were more people joining to discuss this very important topic, because SHA was essentially founded to reduce the biases and prejudices in the ICT sector, in the tech industry. That's, I think, yeah, we have. You know, it's right now we've been founded we are reaching the 7-year mark. And my experience is that things are so much better than when we started. When we started, companies were very afraid of recruiting people coming from diverse backgrounds. Apart from the obvious legal challenges that there were, especially back then, and of course, they can be better in the future. We have faced, I would say, our organization itself, a lot of prejudice, which is our reality. And it is what it is. I want to say sorry. I'm not sure how well you can hear me, how much noise there is around me. I'm in the airport at the
We can hear
moment.
you very well. We can hear you.
Yeah, the
Okay.
noise cancellation is amazing.
Yes, I love it. These are kind of new, and I don't have my regular, which like really block out any noise.
You paid
But
a lot,
thanks for
Damien. Good investment.
uh, for my head noise cancellation phones. I could sell my kidney to purchase the proper ones because I get
I
sorry.
had a meeting today and there was drilling right above my head. I couldn't hear the other person. The other person couldn't hear the drill. So noise cancellation is really a very good thing that we have in speakers.
And what you do in this case, you buy the over earphones, which have with those, yes, like yours, Christiana, and you hear nothing. I just don't have them with me because I'm traveling and they kind of big. So I opted for this one this time. Anyway, let's go back to the prejudice. Honestly, we would love to hear your feedback about the recruitment process for those who have been recruited or are currently in that process. What your experience has been with technology companies, what your experience has been with networking, either in events or on LinkedIn or on GitHub or wherever else you connect with your peers, your developer peers, or potential employers. This is what we want to hear your opinions. This is what what matters the most. But for us, I would say, I can give a very negative conversation, but I will choose the positive side of things, which reality is that things are so much better than 7 years ago when we first started. Companies are much more open to recruit people coming from vulnerable backgrounds. And honestly, it's not just migrants and refugee backgrounds, even people who used to be in different careers. They are career changers and they have a weird background, weird in quotes, of course, because there is prejudice everywhere. But for me, in my opinion, in my observation, with meeting hundreds and hundreds of HR people all these years, I would say the biggest prejudice comes with the systems, the ATS systems. I don't remember what ATS stands for, automatic tracking.
Applicant tracking system.
Applicant tracking system, yes. Thank you, Panagiotis. Oh, you are always awesome. I would say that's the worst thing because we all read these job descriptions. I'm sure you do it as well. And you see, you must have a computer science degree, 4 years of experience in a technology that was invented last year. So these systems essentially they use with keywords, and they say if the person doesn't have a bachelor's degree, immediately don't the system blocks him, and the HR person doesn't even get the chance to look at your CV. Then you have the prejudice of the recruiter itself. I've told you, hundreds of people. In general, I would say HR people, they love their jobs, they love people, they love helping people. Of course, because they are employees of their companies, they have to do what the employer says. Okay, we all have to do it in one way or the other, but they genuinely care. They genuinely, this is just my experience, don't take it for granted, that they do want to recruit diverse people coming from diverse backgrounds because they bring a lot of new things into the company, into the team they join. They bring a lot of extra value. It's not just the code. There are many junior web devs out there. Of course, nobody with the skills of our graduates, because SHA is the best. But there are many people out there, and they genuinely want to recruit. But there is a problem in the process they follow, But at the same time, I understand them because they cannot get away from the process. They have to use ATS systems because many companies, they have many open roles and they get for one role, they might be getting from 200 CVs to 1,000 CVs. There is not enough time for the recruiter to actually go through the CVs. And even if they had the time and they didn't use ATS systems, they still only, the average HR person who looks at a CV only spends 6 seconds, literally. That's based on research, not my research. They have like 6 seconds. That's crazy. So for me, a great way, and of course, being hackers here, all of us, one way or the other, you have to hack the system. We have to hack the system. How do you hack the system? You go and participate to events, to tech events. You go and participate in networking events. I hope you can still hear me. You go and yeah, sorry. I'll take a. Okay. So how you can go away from? Okay, you of course you have to apply, right? You have to apply. That's a given. But when you meet a recruiter in person, connection uses people. Exactly, Christiana. Yes, you need to connect because you connect in an event, then the person, the HR person, might like you because there is a reason they might like you. I don't know what it is. You know, we all bring very different things to the table, and many cases we are not even aware of the value we bring. But the recruiter knows because the recruiter knows people and they understand. They understand their company culture. They understand yourself when they are in front of you face to face. So try to be in as many face to face conversations with people as possible. This is a great way for me to reduce the bias that our beloved technology, we all love tech here, that's for sure. But tech, it's not always right, and ATS systems don't work as I would like them to work. So that's for me a hack in the system. And we have to be out there. We all have to be out there. We have to be discussing about these things. For me, the recruitment cycle, like even if they've read your CV, even if they like you, sometimes the recruitment cycle can take up to 2 months for a person to be employed. Even if they, and that's if they like you. That's also crazy. So a part of this project, a big part of this project is to raise awareness on the issues that all of you have faced or will face or are going to face again in the future. We have to be discussing these things, however small our position is. SHA, I think I've seen it happen in real life. Companies are hiring easier now, people coming from boot camps like ours to get jobs. Why? Because we've proven that our solution works. This is how you reduce bias. There is no magic wand. I would love to have a magic wand, honestly, and speed up the process of all of you, our current, next, future students. I would love to just say, okay, everyone is employed and they have all the skills they need. But that would be unfair, I guess. Also, the process, the journey, is what matters, they say, no matter how tough it is. You guys know how tough SHA is. I have no idea. I would never be able to graduate SHA. Never in my life. I'm just founded this organization to punish you all. Uh, so, so yeah, Katerina, those are my key points. And that maybe a last statement is there are biases. It is what it is. We should be having these conversations or these projects to try to make them less and less, and hopefully the next generation will have a better better experience in the recruitment. Although if AGI, general AI comes, I don't know what the heck is going to happen in the world. But let's say let's be positive, and I'm just very grateful to all of you for showing up, for being part of SHA, and thank you so very much, Katerina, for running this meeting. I will keep participating, but I have to go to the game. So
And we,
I'll be
before
yeah.
we move on, can we take a picture? Can cameras open? And so now that we have Damien as well, the camera's open, I
Yes,
can
for-
take a
for
screenshot.
anyone who wants to open their camera. If not, that's cool.
That's okay as well.
But yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna just take one.
thank you, Helena, thank you, Christiana. I'll stay for as long as possible. I just need to.
Okay, perfect. I have the picture that I wanted. Damien, you are free to fly.
Yeah, if you have any questions, anyone has any questions, maybe for what I mentioned or anything.
Can I just grab the ball from what Damien said regarding hacking the system? I think if companies put as an absolute filter, let's say in their ATS, to have a computer science degree, this is already a red flag for me to begin with. So
Yeah.
if it is an absolute condition, this doesn't show an open mind kind of mentality. And secondly, using the AI tools, which I'm not, saying that is the panacea for everything, but it can certainly make our lives much easier. It's like taking, well, I haven't started applying for jobs, quite ashamed to say still, but yeah, Dana, you're right. But taking the job role description and putting it into an AI tool in order to isolate some keywords and stuff, maybe can make things a bit easier. I mean, after reviewing the output, of course, because it can give you totally.
That's a great suggestion, Panagiotis. We are actually right now through another European project. We are developing such a tool that hopefully will be ready in about 8 months. But developers, they never deliver on time, so probably more.
That's true.
We are actually developing such a tool.
And the other thing I want to mention is that before SHA, I didn't know the value of LinkedIn, and I didn't even have a proper account set, And it's so easy to be involved in a conversation, in a post, in a comment, and people reach out to you to connect. And in many cases, they seem to be in higher ranks of management, like recruiters and directors and employers and stuff. It's surprising to me how easy it is to connect. I don't know if it's going to be any useful in potential recruitment, but nevertheless, it's better than being a parachuter when applying. I believe you have higher chances to be someone that you are connected to somebody else within the company, or a connection of a connection, etc., etc. So yeah, that's my insight I wanted to share. But I'm here mostly to hear to other people's experience that they have actually applied and been recruited, and they want to share this, so that would be useful. Thanks.
So first of all, to say that yes, LinkedIn is not only to find work precisely, it's to also see what kind of competencies they ask, or networking with people. So it has a lot of uses. It's like Facebook for job searching and networking. So yes, LinkedIn is a very powerful tool. We actually have a soft skill courses for LinkedIn, how to build your LinkedIn platform. So this is very important, yes. I do have some slides to guide us towards the discussion, but we can also pick up from where Panayotis and Demia started. So whatever you prefer. If you want, I will share my slides and we can see a little bit some notes that I have.
I think
But
Christiana
maybe...
raised her hand.
Christiana, I don't see your hand, but go ahead.
Yeah, I lowered it. I just wanted to emphasize as well on what Panayiotis said about LinkedIn. I didn't really take advantage of it, but when it's not in a similar situation for IT industries, it was for hospitality industries. But even if I wasn't even very reactive to posts or even trying to connect, I just had it because I knew I had to have a LinkedIn. And I could see just by doing nothing, people were coming to me to recruit me from other countries outside from Europe as well. So imagine actually if we actually put effort to be more active there, how helpful it will be for our experiences to get faster to connect with people or even get recruited to a company that we didn't know we wanted. So yeah, quite important.
This also depends on the sector, indeed. So I know for a fact that IT people receive multiple job offers through LinkedIn. I have never been contacted through LinkedIn, though, as a project manager. It depends on the sector as well. So it depends on what kind of job you do. I know a lot of people in IT are searching with keywords, and then they see your profile, and it's like they see your CV, basically. And they hire you. They start from that. So I don't know if a lot of you here had offers from LinkedIn, just people coming to you offering jobs, proposing interviews or anything?
For IT specifically?
No, generally, but IT as well. I know it for IT. Myself, personally, I know it for IT, for the IT business 100%, but I'm guessing it's true for other sectors as well. So apart from you, Christiana, did anyone else have maybe a... Yes, but not for it. So not for the IT, you mean, Jelena? Yelena, IT. Ah, okay,
Yeah.
not for IT. Okay.
I also had for IT specifically offers. Yeah, quite a lot.
Oh, that's very good. And did that work? Did you in the end manage to find a job through?
No, because I already had the job, so and they didn't offer something better. But I did went to some interviews that I saw interesting, but they were not interesting enough. But yeah, it's very empowering actually. That somebody reach out to you, like, you know, they see that you have some skills, experience, and it shows yeah, that they value this. And yeah, I kind of have optimistic hopes for the future, let's say. Before I was a bit sometimes skeptical, like, oh my God, what if I lose my job? Like, how I will find another one. But now I have a lot of optimism that I can find a job more easily. Yeah.
This can
Especially
actually...
because...
Go, continue. Sorry, Sandra, go.
Yeah, especially because in Social Hackers Academy, I learned a lot actually about the CVs and LinkedIn and networking. This helped me a lot, and I had a lot of confidence. Yeah, when I was searching jobs. So yeah.
This actually also helps in empowering you to reach better conditions of life as well, because if you know that you are wanted, you will not stay in a job where it doesn't go well for you.
Yeah.
So this is very important for the future as well. It's the demand and the request kind of balance we have in society today. So anyone else having any experiences or opinions on this before I move over to the slides? I like that the discussion is going very... I like that the discussion is going very fluid. Okay, so we have Yelena who is saying, unfortunately, prejudice and discrimination is very present in many companies. You vs non-EU candidates, men vs women candidates, of course, religion-based potential workplace bullying or case of pregnancy, etc. Yes, this is very interesting. Yelena, can you unmute and speak, or do you have a problem with your microphone? Because you're giving us very good feedback.
Hi, I don't have a problem. I just muted.
Perfect. Thank you for unmuting.
Yeah.
So
unfortunately, most of these
this.
things I experienced myself. That's why I included as an example. So yes, hopefully the future will get better. We'll see.
I would like to add to Christiana's point, Yelena's point, sorry. We noticed, as SHA in general, that there is a significant prejudice in regards to are women over to men graduates, with women having a significant advantage over men in getting recruited. Of course, so what I mean, women or people who identify as such get jobs faster than men. This,
Really?
yes, absolutely.
In IT?
Absolutely. For devs, I'm talking about our graduates now. Just about
How
it.
does this happen? Do you have an explanation? Do you know why it happens?
Yes. I've talked about it with many people. It's the diversity inside the tech teams. I don't remember the exact number, but it's about 85% men, 15% women, or anyway, such a huge discrepancy. So tech companies, especially large ones, so like over 50 people. Sorry.
So basically, it's part of a total policy that companies adopt to be more inclusive towards women. This is what's happening. It's a policy.
I wouldn't. Sorry. I wouldn't call it a policy. I think it doesn't happen officially. Like the manager goes and tells the HR person, "Hey, find me 10 women." But they definitely, as the comment was, it's because of diversity. They want to make more diverse the companies, so women tend to be hired faster. I'm not saying that our men graduates don't get jobs. The person who has the skill and the motivation and all the things that tech companies are looking for, and all our team has been in your ears yelling all these months to you. If you have the skills, at the end you're going to find a job. That's for sure. Just because of the such huge need for talented developers. But women, yes, there is they call it, I think, positive discrimination or something, or something like that. So how? But anyway, for me, what only thing I care about is all of you getting jobs. So, someone has this advantage, the other person has the other advantage. We are all different and diverse, and through the skill set you have developed here or will develop if you are studying right now. So my experience, not actually, it's not experience, it's facts. Are women devs find faster? Yeah, not by a lot, but definitely. And they have much more when they enter. So let's say a man and a woman enters the same day, and somehow they have the same skill set, same drive, like they are, let's say, a clone of each other. Women, again, tend to move faster up the ladder just because there needs to be more senior women. Tech companies have a huge problem with not having senior tech women.
Damien, I'm just curious, when the same women that they get into, they get employed, I'm just curious if you also have facts whether they face discrimination more than men while they're introduced in the company and the onboarding procedure.
I'm not aware of it. I'm not aware of them having direct discrimination, but we live in Greece. There is always issues, as far as I'm concerned, with discrimination inside the workforce. But being a person that always try to look at the positive side of things, tech industry is the absolute best one in this regard, in diversity, in inclusion, in having open minds, in women don't get harassed. Maybe don't get harassed as much. I don't know. I'm not a woman. I cannot experience. I haven't experienced this situation in my life, and I won't. So for me, as I mentioned, only thing I care about, only thing we are working for here is for you to get placed. So whatever skill set, whatever advantage you have, you must leverage it. But this is not, there must be a very important distinction. I'm not saying that these women, girls, whatever, don't have the skill set. No, the skill set is a must. You must have the skill set. You must go through the technical interview. You have to do this. It's not free money, right? They are not that desperate yet. We'll see. You still have to be technically savvy, but then it's just a tad easier. At least this is a clear. It's not my opinion or thought. This is based on our metrics.
I think what you
It's not.
said. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Continue.
Sorry, go, Christian. Just we don't have we don't graduate like millions of people, so we have like super incredible data. I think we are close to placing 200 people, so our data is limited, but there is a very clear trend. And through my discussions with HR people, they cannot directly tell me, yes, I hire more women, but they kind of like wink their eye at me. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's happening, but let's not talk about it. Sorry, Christiana, go for it.
No worries. From what I know, well, actually, I want to say on top of what you were talking about before, that women get hired more faster, just faster. Like 5 years ago or a little bit more, they started focusing more on emotional intelligence in HR. So I think that's why women are starting to get more recognition about it, because they're more they have more empathy. Women have more empathy and higher emotional intelligence more often. So I guess that could be the reason why, besides having the actual material
Absolutely.
skills.
Absolutely. It's the diversity. That's what they're looking for. Different emotional intelligence is a skill set. And for junior devs, maybe more important than the actual hard skills. Because, sorry to say this, but you are not JavaScript gurus yet, so you essentially get hired on the other skills, on your potential, on who you can become as a person and as a developer. So yes. Yeah.
Even senior
As
developers don't feel like JavaScript gurus ever,
yeah,
from what I've seen on LinkedIn.
that's true. That's true. Yes, that's a great remark, Panagiotis.
And since we're talking about inclusion and exclusion and all this, has any of you faced any biases for your race, nationality, religion, any other type of difference that you can have apart from the being female or male? Yelena, I think, for example, she mentioned a lot of things that have to do with religion as well and nationality. But any stories like that you would like to share, or any experiences? Okay. I think Adnan raised his hand first. It was very close, but let's go with Adnan.
Okay, thank you. Last year I was in the Netherlands and looking for a job. I searched for a front-end developer job all the year. And I cannot say that I was discriminated because of my country of origin or any other measures, but my country of origin was a factor in terms of the procedures, because they needed to provide me a certain amount of money to guarantee my next year's residence permit, and they needed to sponsor me in these terms, and they needed to make some extra paperwork compared to any other European Union citizen. So that creates a not a direct one, but a more I cannot remember the opposite, but you get it. The indirect, yeah, indirect discrimination.
But I wouldn't even say it's indirect. It's a big factor in what you're saying, because if another EU citizen has the same skill set as you, they will go for the one that they don't need to sponsor visas. And it does make a lot of sense what you're saying. It's not indirect. For me, it's a very important factor. And unfortunately, it's something that one company on its own could not deal with. This is a social state problem. This is an international problem, actually. It's not even a company problem. It's a worldwide problem. It's the same for us if we want to search a job in the UK, who want to work in America. It's the same thing. So this is very important. Thank you very much for sharing this, Adnan. I hope you managed to find a nice job in the end either way.
No, I returned back to Turkey.
No. I'm sorry to hear that, but you know,
No
it
problem.
will be good in the future, I'm sure.
I
And
hope.
Zaki, sorry, you were raising your hand as well.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Somehow this discrimination and prejudices everywhere, and the country that I'm coming from, it's Afghanistan. So I studied in India, computer science and software application. Then I went back to the country and was looking for a job. Unfortunately, because of the race that I am coming, because of the tribe, that it was very difficult for me to find a developing job, or the job that I was expecting. So because of that, I tried a lot. And I went to be honest, I listed all the list of interviews and tests that I went through. So I was not able to find the job as a developer. So then I went for implementation. So I actually changed because I needed the finance problems and these things. So I had to go to for implementation and feedback and of a software implementation. Then I was not able to continue my job as a developer. So when when Afghanistan collapsed, then I fled the country and displaced. And right now I'm trying to come back to development, and I hope I can find my way, and I'm trying a lot. And I wanted to say that this discrimination and problem exists in different kind of criteria and everywhere.
Zaki, are you currently in Greece at the moment?
No, I'm currently in Germany. Just
Okay.
I'm new in Germany, so my status is not clear. So here I want to I learned a lot on internet. So I searched for different courses, and it is mentionable that the Social Hacker Academy. It is an honor for me that provided a chance for me to pursue my dream and what I'm looking. Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Zaki. Sandra, if you want to go ahead. Mohammed, you're next.
Just clapping, actually.
Okay. Sorry. Mohammed, you are next. Go ahead.
Thank you, Katrina.
Yeah.
I just and thank you, Damian, for this session. I just wanted to ask a question regarding the AI. What is the long-term and foreseen what do you call it? issues, or not, let's say not issues. Let's say that it will divert some businesses from being heavily investing in the technology developers or some kind of systems developer, etc., etc., so that they're gonna be some change in the way people are interacting, like what happened previously during the first whenever the first time the internet, for example, and now Amazon is leading the retailer, for example. Now after that, AI can be leading the way. And is there any track you are planning to help your students to develop their AI competencies and be more competitive, either now or in the future?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say it's a different discussion from what we're trying to achieve here, but I will answer you real quick, your answer. Obviously, so AI is, I think we are going through the biggest revolution in the workforce. I think it will be bigger than the industrial revolution, but as a positive person, everything will be okay, and we'll all be able to live our lives to the best of our abilities. I'm very sad to hear some of the things you have faced. Unfortunately, it's not unique. I wish it was unique, but yes, we do plan to answer your question, Mohammed, directly. Yes, we do plan to have the use of Gen AI language models in our curriculum, but this is scheduled to happen in the third quarter of this year. I have to admit we are a bit late, but we are a small organization with very limited capabilities, I would say. But thanks to the tech, we can enable to have students coming from more than 60 countries. We have students from the Philippines to Argentina, literally. So yeah, sorry for this again. So yeah, Gen AI prompt engineering will be part of our curriculum soon, but we've done a couple of sessions or events about AI. So maybe if you go to YouTube, you'll find a couple of sessions there. And yeah, we'll do more very soon.
Okay, great. I think that a lot of people, there was a hand raised, Panayoti, I think I remember seeing you. It's okay?
No, just wanted to quickly mention what the NVIDIA director said the other day, about a week ago, that you know, for the last 10 years, people were advising everyone for their children to study computer science and coding, and he said this is not anymore valid. It's a kind of extreme, I think, extreme, let's say suggestion for now, because I still believe that if you know the basic principles about coding, you're not going to be soon obsolete yet. And even if there will be natural language coding frameworks, and knowing the basics, you will still be useful. So, but you know, things are going to change radically.
This is like my favorite discussion ever. Thank you all. About this topic, what we say in SHA is that yes, software developers will be obsolete. they'll be obsolete by software developers who can use very well these AI tools, including Gen AI or whatever else comes our way. Because you might not have understood it all the way. You didn't just learn coding. Me and Katerina, we are not technical ourselves, right? If you sit us down for 3 hours, we are going to write a function. We are going to do it. We are going to do it. It's not that hard. But the skills you develop, the learning agility. Learning agility means I can learn very fast on my own. This skill, just with this skill alone, let's say 10 years from now, NVIDIA CEO, okay, bear in mind that he has an agenda behind saying this because he's selling the data centers. They make crazy money. NVIDIA will become maybe even the biggest company in the world very soon. But that's a different discussion. I don't want to go to conspiracy theories and stuff. I will look at what we do here in SHA. It's not just the functions. It's the learning agility, it's the communication, it's the fact that you had the willingness, the motivation to study something this hard for 7 months, even if you don't, in let's say our students 10 years from now, right? Our graduates, you guys, you are not needed as developers, okay, you'll be needed as something else because you've developed a mindset, I hope, in SHA. And I'm sure most of our graduates have developed a mindset of learning, a mindset of problem solving. And as long as general artificial intelligence doesn't happen, I think we are safe. Other than that, why do you care? We'll all get screwed, you know? We'll all face, like, the world is going into fire, revolutions and stuff. So let's not worry about that.
Totally
choose,
agree.
yeah, let's do what we can control. What we can control, go and meet people. Go towards the biases and take the other way around, the bias of the ATS systems, or of gender, or of religion, or of country of origin, or anything else. And you know what? I know it sucks. I happen to be white and privileged in many ways. But for me, just do. Zaki is facing these incredible challenges. He's here. He's trying to learn. He wants to be better. Focus on what you can control. In my environment of NGO founders and going to these events and stuff, you can't imagine the discrimination I'm facing. Not being a woman and not coming from a vulnerable background. But I cannot control that. I don't care. I don't care at all. I care about myself. How can I become better? How can I be more up to date with the new technological advancements? I control myself. And I focus on that. And some days I win. Some days I lose. But that's okay. It's the game. Never quit. None of you, myself, Katerina, everyone in SHA, we don't quit. You cannot believe the adversity our team and company has faced in many, many instances these years. We don't care. We don't care about that adversity. We care about putting one step in front of the other and just do the work. And today I might work a lot. Tomorrow I might doom scroll on TikTok for 8 hours. It happened. It has happened. And me and Katerina have
I
an
don't have
addiction.
TikTok anymore. Just
Not
saying.
anymore. Yeah, actually, I'm doing much better as well. But yeah, sorry to take the room.
No, it's okay. This was great, actually. I think we had some stories of discrimination that you faced, which were very useful. Can we maybe discuss a little bit what you would like to see put in place to make your life easier and not face that much discrimination? Like, what could companies or the state or anyone, for that matter, could do to assist you in not facing that much discrimination? So let's see if companies had, for example, diversity and inclusion trainings or workshops or inclusive language policies where they say that we will be speaking in English and not in Greek or in Turkish or whatever the company is placed. If they had mentorship programs, for example, or flexible arrangements for work, you can work from home or work flexible hours. Has any of you seen any of these happen? Or if you hadn't, which ones do you think that are very important to see? So Yelena, if you just want to speak because you have amazing feedback and we would love to hear your voice, if you feel comfortable with this. If not, the chat works for me.
Yes, no problem. I mean, it was the first idea that I could think of, because you cannot, even when you search on LinkedIn, for example, you cannot find so many internship opportunities, or even some kind of part-time participation, I mean, with or without getting paid, because maybe someone, at least let's say the junior or let's say the fresh graduate from your course, like me, could use, let's say, take advantage of this kind of opportunity. Because when you scan the job ads in LinkedIn, for example, for entry junior positions, I mean, the list of requirements is unbelievable. I mean, from the list of technical skills, knowledge of this and that, and which probably, I mean, for some reasons companies put that, but even for junior positions and, for example, 5+ years of experience, I don't know, it's a bit overwhelming when you go through job ads. And I recently, talking about men and women, recently I saw a job ad on LinkedIn where it says that according to a study, I don't remember the percentage, but basically women have a higher tendency to not to apply to a job position if they feel they don't have all the required skill set. So men are more have, let's say, higher tendency to apply anyway and just let's say risk, but women, they just give up. So it was an interesting part of a job ad that I, like, few days ago, I saw in one ad.
So you would like to see, basically what you would want is to gain more experience so that you can actually compete better for the job ads that you're seeing.
Yes, because most of job ads, they require even proven experience. So how can someone who just graduated, especially the one that comes from non-IT or non-computer science background, it's almost impossible. Like they may exclude you automatically when you apply, because when you see the job ads, at least for LinkedIn statistics, in most job applications, it says it's more than 100 applicants.
Yes.
So if out of 100 applicants, you have 50 graduates that come from computer science, then let's say you're excluded automatically if they give importance to that. On the other side, if they search also some kind of experience, then having that, even as a person that comes from let's say, computer science background, it can be an advantage for that candidate.
I have two general advice to give to all of you. This is not in the topic of the meeting, but since Yelena mentioned it, I would like to say them. First of all is know that when I've spent 15 years of my life applying to jobs. So, you know, once you see you're not competing with the skills that the job ad is asking, you're competing with the other people that send their CVs in. So send your CV, send even 50 CVs per day, no problem. But you're not competing with the actual ad, because they're asking for everything. It's like a woman is writing down her checklist of 10 things that she wants a man to have. If you find someone that has 7, you're good. So this is what's happening. You're competing with the people that are applying. And the second part is I forgot about the second part. I'm sorry, Damien, you were about to say something. I'm gonna remember it.
I completely disagree with the 50 CVs. First of all, listen to Zainab. Don't listen to us. Listen to Zainab. Listen to the person who really knows their stuff. We know some stuff, but we could be wrong. To Katerina's point, I would not go for 50 CVs. Of course, don't care about the job description. The job
That's what I
description,
mean. That part is the most
It's
important.
like at least it's a wishful thinking.
Exactly.
I would
Ideally.
like, I would like to marry a person who does this, and that. There is no such thing. Don't worry about it. If they ask you for 10 things and you have 2 or 3 things, go ahead and apply. What I would do in this case, pick 10 companies and go and prove to them and tell them, hey, I have this particular skill. I don't have the AWS, because also it's crazy. They ask you to know from DevOps to full stack to fixing printers. That's crazy. Okay, but it is what it is. What you can do is hack it. Think outside of the box. So one of the ways that could be considered thinking out of the box would be to go and say, hey, company, I have these 3 skills. I'm very competent in them. Here is something I built for you. Or if you don't have the time to do that, go and say, hey, from your software that I use, I love using your software. This feature could be better. And I, as your next developer, would follow this way to make this feature better, or add a feature, remove a feature, make the UX just a tad better. There are so many things that you can do because we should never focus on the negative, in my opinion.
This
Of
is
course, it's a lot of
actually
work.
very good, Damien. If you remember when you hired me, I told you in the first interview that you had some bugs on the website.
Katerina had half what I was looking for. Half.
I did not have half what you were looking for.
You had half. You had. Okay, let me know what I knew what I was looking for. Half. It doesn't matter. Okay, 60%. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Differentiate yourself. I have so many things from what you said. I think it was Yelena. And I saw also Panayotis raising his hand, but let me just finish because I'm boarding very soon my flight. So I'll definitely leave in about 5 to 10 minutes. Don't apply through LinkedIn. Don't. It's the worst thing you can do. Go to their website, go to their careers page, and apply there. Apply there. LinkedIn, especially this easy apply by LinkedIn. Please, nobody use that feature. This is for lazy people. Don't be lazy. So don't go and apply to 50 positions with easy apply. Go and apply to 5 positions and reach the HR manager. Connect with him. Go under his posts. Add value. Go to his company posts. Add value. Go and invest. This is how you diversify yourself, which the result is also decreases discrimination. Because we all have 1 or 2 or 10 things that we face discrimination one way or the other. And of course, some people much more than others, of course. I'm not saying it's not a fair world, but thank God, tech is so much better than every possible industry. And it's up to you to take ownership of the situation you are in and hack the system. Be better than the others. This is how you are better. Go and build something for them. Do it as a project. Put it in your portfolio. It's going to help you anyway. So why not add value? And maybe if they don't hire you today because your skill set is not up to their standards at this point, which happens quite a lot, your skill set might be what they're looking for in 6 months. And if you have the patience, in 6 months, it will happen for you. Never quit. Never. Never. You can pause. You can pause for a day because it's a shitty day. You can pause for a week because it's a shitty week, even for a month. But bounce back and keep making yourself different. And also, my last point, which is a very important one, you are not, you, my opinion and data says that computer scientists are not better than you. A computer scientist who is a hacker from 11 years old and finished computer science, yes, he has better skills than you. Or a computer scientist who also finished a bootcamp ours or similar to ours, yes, they might have an advantage. Yes. But it doesn't matter. When I founded this organization, there were billions of people better at me at everything. I didn't care. I don't have a degree. I never finished anything. Just high school, of course. Not even high school, technical school. I don't care. You have to do what you have to do. And of course, there are tough times, as we all face.
Thank you really much for that. It was really helpful. Seriously.
Damian, can I add, beginning from your last point and not keeping you too much in order not to lose your flight? First of all, these kind of people you just described usually don't have the proper soft skills. So usually they're not very sociable, you know. They're not very capable of blending into a team, and they don't seek this kind of environment. So the industry, apparently they look more after people that can blend into teams right now rather than the technical skills. This is my impression from what I get from LinkedIn posts and stuff. The second thing is that sometimes the value of the insights I get from posts of LinkedIn is really, really precious, in the sense, for example, a really high ranked CEO saying, you know, when I interview higher management position candidates, what I look for is simply to solve my problem. So the question is, can you solve my problem? You are the right candidate for me. So if we do a bit of reverse engineering in that sense, and if we see what is the hiring manager or the employer is looking for to solve their problem, and we can sense this, and we have the skills, then we can stand out, you know. And another thing I want to add is that, you know, coming from a totally different background, is the really great advantage that this sector has. You have a portfolio to show. It's not just your CV amongst, you know, 300,000 CVs that you have 6 seconds to stand out. Yes, you have the initial chance, that is the 6-second one, but if you pass this, then you have your portfolio to show your work. And this is such a great advantage compared to other sectors, that in order to call you for an interview is even harder. You know, not having something to show, just a sixth sense of the recruiter to say, okay, maybe I should call this guy or this girl. So here you have something to show. It's really important, you know.
And I wouldn't say it's sixth sense, Panayotis. It's called pattern recognition. They have seen in front of their eyes thousands and thousands of people,
True.
hundreds of thousands of CVs. So they see things that us regular people cannot see, but they can drill through your eyes, through right in your skull. They know. They know. And, you know, it might not be a good day for you, and you don't make this work. Maybe, even worse, it's a bad day for them. They didn't have a good lunch, or their boss just yelled at them, and you lose, and we all lose because of that. But that's the game.
Yeah, I think, you know, you raised a great point here, because I think it's a really good exercise of how to deal with the rejection as well, which is general. Most people have, you know, a great issue to deal with rejection. So upon applying and getting rejection letters back, one shouldn't give up and be discouraged to continue. So this is a general issue, you know, a life-wide issue, I believe, that everybody needs to practice not to be discouraged by being rejected.
Of course, that's life. That's how it works. Rejection is part of it for all of us, indeed. So in other, let's say, practices that you would like to see in companies, for example, Adnan and who was Zaki, that you mentioned very difficult stuff that you've been through, and I'm sorry for this. What do you think would have made it easier? So would you have faced language problems if you entered the company, for example? Would you have faced communication problems with the company? If, for example, the company used English or Dutch or whichever language the country has, would support on that help you more? How do you imagine this future, let's say? Adnan, go ahead. Thank you.
Well, I think when I told you my experience, you actually heard it as a very serious discrimination, but I see it only on a paperwork level. I don't think they are discriminating me as a person.
No, it's not personal.
So
For sure, it's not personal. Yes.
Yeah. So I wouldn't expect any discrimination once I enter the sector. But because I lived in the Netherlands for 2 separate years, one year as student and 1 year as job seeker, and I didn't get any racist tone from any Dutch people. But I can find some things that I might don't like, but I understand them actually, because whenever let me wrap up like this. I worked in a temporary job outside the IT sector, and I realized that Dutch people tend to speak to each other in Dutch, even though I'm with them. And this is not something I'm used to from my university academician background in Turkey, because in Turkey, in the university, we used to switch to English immediately when a person from a different country enters to the room, even though the topic is irrelevant to him or her, actually. So this might be the only thing I can share with you as something that I experienced as something that might bug me or bug anyone, if not call it a discrimination, because I don't think they were doing it on purpose.
Let's not define discrimination as specifically something very bad that happens. It can be also a cultural thing. Like, for example, what you're saying, I have faced discrimination in France, and French people love Greek people, but I faced discrimination. It was mostly because of the language, because I didn't speak the language very well in the beginning. So it's things like this as well. So for this, for example, I would have loved my employer to have in place a system where French people understand that they're not the only language in the world that someone can speak, for example, you understand? Something like that. So indeed, what you're saying, it's a cultural thing that could have a slight discrimination in it, which is not a bad thing to say, discrimination. I'm not considering it like the worst. I'm not saying racism. That's a different word. That's a different, has a different tone. So
Yeah, it's different.
Exactly. So I don't know if Zaki, you have anything on this because you opened your camera, so I'm guessing you want to speak. No?
No, actually, I don't. Yeah, I don't have. Yeah.
Okay, thank you anyways. So let's go a little bit more on ICT technologies. So Damien spoke a little bit before about AI technology, and Panayoti, you were also in the discussion. So we know how ICT technology works now and how they filter candidates, etc. And what do you think, if you have an impression, an opinion on that, of course, what do you think that could change, that could be more, that could create more inclusive working environments? Like, would the algorithm be changed, or the process itself be changed, or the person who does the process change? What do you think could lead into positive changes?
I
Damien?
would say remove developers from developing these APS systems.
Remove developers, you said?
Yes, stop having developers developing these APS systems. I'm just joking. of course.
So not having it at all, basically, that's what we should put in the report.
Yes, let's go back to the Stone Age. Yes.
I was thinking more if you can have multilingual support or algorithm. Sorry, I cannot pronounce the word that it's Greek. Algorithm fairness or things like that, mostly, Damien. I wasn't thinking, kill the developers kind of thing. Anyone has? Go, Zaki. Thank you.
Yeah, regarding this AI and changing and the workforce and work replacement, personally, I think that developers are not in danger of AI replacement because I think that developers or software applications, all those who are creating or developing softwares, they are the last people who will be eliminated from the job or the workforce. And the reason that I am thinking that first, it might be the drivers, taxi drivers, or even HR. The work of HR could be done by AI or other fields. And I think developer can work on their skills, and they can use efficient AI technologies. They can combine and learn every day, and they will be the last people who will be replaced. And then that's my point. I don't know, maybe others have other point of view, but yeah, that's all.
I think it's just Damien's personal opinion that he would like these developers to not exist anymore so that they don't actually create those systems.
I just wanted to say a bullshit thing to spice up the conversation.
Sandra, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. So one thing that where tools could be improved in the future is for supporting people with disabilities and neurodivergent people. For example, maybe also in the process of the hiring, to make things easier for them. Like, I don't know exactly what issues, let's say people with disability, I don't know, hearing problems or visual problems they face now, but I think technology can be in great help in various fields, and also during the work itself. maybe some processes could be, I don't know, automated to help people. For example, I'm just thinking out loud now because I just thought of that.
I know you can do it, of course. Go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, and also like equipment and stuff. For example, there are people who have sensory issues. They don't they cannot stand certain textures and stuff. For example, I don't know, there could be like keyboards designed for them, and we could like modify a lot of things in the future, I think. And companies could be aware of these people and their needs, and we could support like everybody by modifying things by our needs and liking. Yeah.
Okay, this is great. Damien or anyone else has anything to add? I'm saying Damien because I know that you will have something to add if he's still here and he's not already on the plane.
I just wrote on it. But what I would say is I love the point of the previous person discussing. Sorry, I cannot follow 100%. I wish the internet is more accessible. We've tried from our end, but it's just so very hard to convince people because there must be an investment in making more accessible websites and platforms. So yeah, I'm not sure what else to add. I just have a beef with ATS systems really. Like that's my focus. Yeah, that's it.
Basically, the ATS could be improved to be more inclusive. This is what we would like to have.
Yeah, maybe AI. Maybe AI will be able to analyze the CV or whatever it might be. If there is no CV in a few years, the AI could analyze better the qualitative characteristics of the candidate. So the skills, like how do they measure the soft skills? ATS cannot measure this thing at this point. They can measure it with social metrics later on with other tools, but not this way. So yeah, maybe AI will change.
If I'm not wrong, AI can be programmed to be also inclusive, right? So not take into consideration race, ethnicity, gender, disabilities or not, anything. So that would be very important, let's say, for example, having an inclusive tool behind all this so that the process itself is more inclusive to start with. I mean, they did start this a few years back when they said, take out the photos from your CVs so that they don't see if we are like, or the age, for example, we started taking out the age and things like that. So I'm guessing we're getting there, it's just getting a little bit, it's just taking more time than it should, but we are getting there slowly. And then there are some factors always that will be different. Like a woman, it's always a little bit more difficult because they will be like, she will have babies, she will leave from her job, etc. I had another question as well, a little bit which may be introduced bias. Yes, Patrick, I agree. I agree that this would be the case. I believe you could choose to not have a picture in your CV. That helps a lot with inclusivity. But what I heard from managers way back before in my career was that they found that shady, let's say. So they found that weird, like, why don't you put your picture in? It seemed weird. So I think this is a transition period until we get to the part where there's actually no discrimination.
It also depends on the person, on the recruiter.
Yeah.
Personally, I personally like LinkedIn photos. I think it should be there. There should be a professional photo. But if you don't like, especially for religious purposes or any other purposes, you could create an avatar. Like make something stand out. Have AI build create a photo based on you, but not the actual you. There are always ways to give yourself the best possible chances. Also for me, I would say, as a recruiter, it would be very hard to recruit someone who doesn't have a LinkedIn photo. That's my bias, right? As a recruiter, wearing the recruiter's hat at this point.
This is actually a complex matter because in some jobs, looks could be important, but in the IT business, I don't think so. Developers, I don't think they need to be like costume people with nice haircuts and, you know, walk around with their briefcase and stuff. So it depends on the field, I guess, as well, Damien.
Yeah, of course. And, you know, yes, it's more flexible in the tech. So use an avatar. Use a cool AI avatar that expresses you in some way.
For example, it could be this. I do have a question, more curiosity-wise. Has any of you here dealt with discrimination for your religion? Or let's say you're working, but you're doing Ramadan. I don't know if we have any people who do Ramadan here. I'm just saying an example. And they had issues because they had to work, while in other countries where Ramadan is like a cultural thing as a whole, you have the days off or you work less. Zaki, please go ahead. I'm very interested in this matter personally as well, me as Katerina.
Yeah, actually, I don't face discrimination or prejudice regarding the religion, but I raised my hand because that I do fast for the day. Yeah.
Because I know that when I was working in France, I had colleagues that were exhausted within the day, but they had to work because, you know, this is how it is in that country. You eat in that country that month within the day as well. So there's no reason to not work that days. Yes, go, Christiana. Thank you.
When that subject comes up, I don't really give a damn about it because I don't believe in any religion. And whenever I said that and someone is quite religious, they're like, "Oh, you don't believe in God? How will you be in the right road and place?" And and I just laugh it off inside and say, "You do you, let me do me, and just keep our days. I don't care if you're religious or not. Just why do you?" But yeah, it doesn't really affect me, and it has never affected me because I just care about myself and I don't care about what they say. But yeah, I don't even let them to be disrespectful towards me because of how I stand when they say stuff like that. So yeah, I guess the best way to go is not give a damn.
And that's the thing for certain religions, depending on their religious phase, it could be a little bit harder. So, but it's a different thing. Like, for example, companies could have prayer rooms. I'm just saying examples right now. I'm not a Muslim myself. I'm just saying the examples that come into my mind.
Yeah, the good thing is that we also, to the companies I've worked, they were very respectful. We also had a specific praying room for people who had the specific religion.
Oh, that's very good. Any other practices you saw that happened within those companies? Anything else that could promote inclusivity? Go ahead, Christiana. You're a blind mind. You're not speaking. Speak.
It was mostly on hospitality. There were specific periods of of the year, especially in September, if I'm not mistaken, or October. We had guests that they brought their own meat and they did their own process of praying on the meat to make it holy to be able to eat it.
This is halal, I'm thinking.
Yes, thank you. I could not remember the word. But yeah, I remember the guest holding a book, having a rug under his knees, and just enchanting some words and letting the blood drop for how many hours. The other time, yeah, but we were more helping to the people who were fasting. because it was crazy that they must not eat or even drink water for so many hours. So we were very understanding and took initial more to help them out so they will not be exhausted even more from how they are. What else? That's these are the two experiences that mostly stuck in my mind, that we had a specific room that was quiet and they could easily pray, and the guest that came and blessed the meat he was about to eat.
Yes, indeed, that's pretty typical of halal process. I am covered mostly. Anyone has any questions, anything to add? Damien, if you're not flying, the other people, if anyone wants to say anything, ask anything. Yes, Adnan, go ahead.
Well, I would like to add in the conclusion that the most discriminative thing I see in the industry is not about the gender, not about the country of origin, not about the religion, in my opinion, but it is about the level of which developer are you, about between the junior, medium, and senior levels.
So experience.
Yeah, currently I'm also looking for job in Turkey on LinkedIn, and in Turkey, for example, I only see senior developer advertisements. It's full of the pages loaded with only these. Some of them doesn't mention senior in the title, and I look at them hoping that it is a junior position, but still they are asking for many years of experience. So they are excluding people at the beginning of their recruitment phase, in my opinion. So after that, all of the inclusion policies are like they are just doing them for anyway. I couldn't express it, sorry, but
it's okay.
Yeah, it looks like a lie to me when they adopt some inclusion policy to be more direct. Yeah, it's, to me, it is what it is.
So I think this falls under what we told Elena before as well, that even if you see senior, but you think the company does really correspond to you, you do a good cover letter, you do a good CV, and you send it, as Damien said, not through the easy apply, because you're never going to have all the qualifications that a job is asking for. They're asking for their 10 out of 10 perfect, they're 15 out of 10 perfect candidates. So just do your best. Indeed, the 50 CVs that I said before, it's not something that I've even done. But if you think that a job actually suits you, try to apply either way. And maybe they see something in you that they don't see in other people. They see a specific experience that you might possess, or a specific soft skill that you may have, or a specific interest that you may have. Unfortunately, the junior part of discrimination, let's say, we have all faced it in the beginning of our careers. I faced it as well. Like everything was asking 3 years of experience. And I was like, how am I supposed to get the experience if you want me to have experience? Like, someone needs to hire me for me to have the experience. But in the end, this ball will always roll. It will happen. Whether it's because you impress someone on interviews, this is basically what I was doing in the beginning. I was impressing them in interviews, whether it was having a very nice CV, whether it was having a very nice LinkedIn page, this will roll. You will not stay junior forever. That I can promise to everyone in this world. But basically, you just need to, as Damien said, hold on there and keep going and just try your best. This is what we're all doing.
Yeah.
Talking about Damien, I have to leave because my flight is actually.
Go. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna close soon as well.
Honestly, it was thank you. It was one of my favorite events that I've participated in SHA history. So important topics. Very excited to hear your thoughts and experiences, negative and positive. And I wish all the very best to all of you.
You need to fasten your seatbelt and go. Go.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
The lady was saying that they should fasten their seatbelts. So indeed, all your feedback was very, very important. Thank you very much for this. I don't know if anyone has anything else to say or wants to ask any questions, any more questions? No? So we'll have another roundtable next week, which will be on a little bit different of a topic. But since I have your emails, I will send you the information just in case you want to participate in this one as well. I'm also going to send you a small evaluation survey. If you can fill it for me, it goes directly to the project so that we have feedback about our actions.
Sure.
I think you're all amazing. Thank you very much for being here and for all your feedback. This was excellent.
Thank you too.
You have my
amazing
email.
session.
You have my email. If you have any questions, let me know. Contact me. I can help you with anything you need. And send those CVs. Just send them.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Katerina.
Thank
Have a
you.
good afternoon, everyone. And
You too, and
hopefully
everyone.
see you next week.
You too.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Good evening.
Bye.